start something, can you typically see it on them? Feel it on their energy? Yeah. So if we now have want, beyond doubt,
What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, family? Why the fuck this shit ain't clear? I feel like the camera foggy or some shit. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. Y'all give me a quick second to make sure. Let me do a mic check, sound check, video check, all that shit real quick. Boom. Nope, cancel. How do I get back to where I was at? Get off. All right. Don't stop playing with me. Leave me alone. All right, so look, here's what we're gonna be talking about today. This is Larry Witness Bay, Mr. Lawful Money. And what I wanted to talk to y'all about today were 3 things you should focus on when you sharing information. Really, 3 things you need to focus on about yourself in order to increase your sales in business, whether you're in networking, whether you're an entrepreneur, side hustle, whatever, whether you promote an idea, product or service, it don't matter. Whether it's your product or service or idea or somebody else's, right? And I'm just going to be clear and keep it 100 with you. Everything in life, like everything in success, right? If we talking about success in life or income success or whatever, all of that is going to be dependent on sales, right? Sales and leadership. Everything in society rises and falls on leadership. For those of y'all that's looking for a way to increase or accelerate your income, you're going to have to increase your sales, right? And one way to help you do that, too, is to increase your impact, right? Uplift your voice type shit. Speak up, right? Say what you're thinking. But that's on a whole nother level. And actually, no, that's part of what I want to talk about today. But I want to give y'all 3 areas to focus on when it comes to your sales and your presentation that's going to help you grow your income, right? And these are kind of foundational for real because this is the beginning. These are the 3 things you got to start with and always maintain, right? But these are probably 3 of the easiest things to master and get under control, right? So hold on real quick. Let me make sure I'm on this joint for real. Boom, go back. My page, am I live? Am I doing something? No, I don't know. I don't know if it's working, but whatever. We're going to figure it out. I guess I got 1 like. That's cool. Okay, so, all right, so the 3 aspects that you want to control or focus on, right, that you want to get under control, that you want to master quickly, right, if you plan on being successful in any industry, right, especially if at some point you got to present some kind of idea, product, service, or whatever, right, share information about the value that you add to the community and those around you, right? So, and the other thing, where I got this information from, I attended a mastermind class, June of last year. It cost me about $1,500, right? And that was just for the ticket, to be in the room, to get the information, to be around other high 6 and 7-figure earners in the industry, right? And what we were talking about, the topic of conversation that day was communication mastery, right? How to identify people's communication styles, how to identify your own communication style, how to work within that, right? How to leverage your communication style against others or vice versa, leverage their communication style towards or for your benefit, right? And so one of the other things I picked up from the mastermind was that in sales, 80% of your success in sales, or 80% of the process necessary for you to undergo before you can reasonably expect a sale, 80% of that is rapport building, right? Relationship building. That's what a rapport is. Having a relationship with a person, a certain level of understanding, some kind of alignment, right? Finding that. And sometimes it takes a little while to figure that out. But the good thing is, when you're in business for yourself, you don't need everybody to do business with you, right? You don't need everybody to be your client. In a lot of cases, you could do extraordinarily well for yourself with 1/10 of 1% of the population, right? So you don't need a whole lot of people to do good business, or, to make an impact, or to, really increase or grow your income. But you do need to learn how a lot of people communicate, right? So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get y'all what y'all came for real, right? Because the three things that you need to focus on in order to master your communication, right, and how you convey this information and convey these thoughts are: one, your pitch. Like, what are you saying, right? That matters a lot. You'll hear a lot of times people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. But even in order for them to know how much you care, you got to be saying the right things, right? You got to be having the right conversation. You have to learn and understand the language of whatever industry you're in, right? And the good thing about your pitch, the pitch is how you present your opportunity, idea, or information. It's it's kind of like the ad or the script for an advertisement, right? Or a commercial, or whatever. Like, what would you say to a prospective client to build value and build interest in your product, right? Build interest and value within them for your product. So when considering or talking about the importance of the consistency of a pitch, right? The reason why it's so important is because everybody don't communicate the same way, right? You're going to come across different types of people, different ages, different backgrounds, different perspectives, different mindsets and mentalities, right? Everybody doesn't communicate the same way. So you have to, as a professional, design or devise a way to effectively communicate what it is that you want people to understand, right? Because if you don't or can't or won't effectively communicate the value of your product, service, or idea, why would anybody think to do business with you, right? Why wouldn't they just go down the street and find somebody else with a similar product, service, or idea and do business with them? Because they communicate better. Newsflash, that's exactly what they're going to do, right? Because they don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And if you can't communicate that, if there's not some level of mission guided purpose evident in your pitch, right, you're going to lose a lot of money. You're going to leave a lot of money on the table. The flip side to that is, though, when your pitch is consistent, is designed and developed properly, and you stick to your pitch, whatever it is, however you put it together, when you don't allow the individual that you're talking to dictate how you present the information, right? When you know that your pitch is on point, professional, design right, all of that, that's one less thing you got to worry about. And if you know for a fact, I'm saying the right things, right? If you're not making the sales you want, if you're not seeing the income you want, the problem is that you're probably saying the right things to the wrong people, right? Or to not enough people, right? One of my mentors said to me one day, and it was short and like super to the point, but he said, for the right person, no explanation is necessary. And for the wrong person, no explanation will suffice, right? So when you understand that professionals don't sell, you know what I'm saying? Professionals don't convince, right? Professionals ask questions. Professionals sort. Professionals, what's the word I'm looking for? Have a standard, about how and who they're doing business with. Have an ideal client, right? So as a professional, when you understand that your level of knowledge about your product or service is top tier, right? If people is not getting it, maybe it's just not the right time for them. Maybe you just talking to the wrong person, right? Maybe, I already said it's not the right time for them, but a lot of times that be the case. Because most of the time when people tell you no, they're not even telling you no. They're telling themselves no, right? A lot of times no don't even mean no. It means not right now, because the problem a lot of people have in sales and marketing and promotion is they feel like because they have such a valuable product or service, they're going to get rich immediately or quickly, right? If you would just give up the idea of getting rich immediately and be consistent and put your head down and do the work the right way and for the right reason, you will absolutely and without a doubt get rich eventually. Right? But your pace has to be right in order for that to happen. Right? Like the people that you're looking for, you have to be able to convey that idea, that information to them clearly and at a simple and basic, damn near elementary level. Right? And when you can do that, like when you're proficient at that communication, you'll see your income explode. Right? But that's why pitch is so important. How you say what you say, right? The information that you're giving, because really you could tell people all day long that they need your product or service, but that's not going to get you no sales, right? It's not until they understand the value that you provide, right? It's really, and in most cases, it's not until people start coming to you that you're going to start to see the growth and success that you want to see in your business, right? So pitch is important. You want to make sure you're saying the right thing. You can't say the wrong thing to the wrong person. And if you are saying the right thing, you got to make sure you're saying the right thing to enough people, right? And fast enough, right? So that's the next part. So the second thing that you got to focus on is your pace, your sense of urgency. Oh, before I do that though, so when it comes to objections, reasons why people deny your offer, right? It comes down to 5 basic reasons. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, they're not saying no to you because they're going to tell you the last one most of the time, which is almost kind of like them trying to, shirk accountability or whatever. But the 5 reasons people tell you no is they don't trust you. Number 1, right? So are you a person of integrity, right? Do you look trustworthy? How do you move, right? Like you can kill that objection just by being a decent and good person, right? Just by, social proof and, being open on your social media, and, you know what I'm saying? Being relatable and shit like that. So do they trust you, right? The second thing is, do they need what you have, right? And this is where a lot of people get into the problem of, yeah, my pitch is cool, but people just like, nah, but you got to ask, do they even need what you have? Are they even in the position to accept the blessing or gift that you're presenting, right? Because if they don't need it, if you're trying to sell somebody they don't need, if you're trying to sell something to somebody that they don't need, that's like a doctor trying to write a prescription before you even diagnose the problem or, identify the symptoms. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't work like that. There's a process to this, right? There's a structure to this, a design to this, right? So the third thing is wants. Do they want what you have? Right? You might have an incredibly valuable product, service, or idea, but does this person that you're talking to even want that? Are they cool and happy with life the way it is? Like, are they complacent and, settled and just content, right? Because a lot of times when you're in business for yourself and you got a product, service, or idea that you're selling or promoting, you're not looking for people that are comfortable in their situation. You're looking for those that want to change, right? That want to do better, that want to improve, that want to grow, that want to accelerate any one of those processes, right? So the question you have to ask yourself and the objection that you have to preempt and address is, do they need what it is that you're presenting? And honestly, you can ask that question to yourself without them and save yourself a lot of time, headache, and heartache. Because if they don't need what you have, why are you spending your time talking to them? Right? Like, if your product or service is valuable, you should understand you got a limited amount of time. And that's why pace is so important too. But you got a limited amount of time. You need to have a sense of urgency about what you're doing, right? You got to have a desire to be efficient in what you're doing. And just talking, casting your pearls to swine to individuals that don't have a need for what you are presenting, you're wasting your time, fam. You know what I'm saying? So do they need this? Right? Hold on. Number 4 is Urgency, right? Urgency. Like, and a lot of people need help. A lot of people need to change. But urgency doesn't show itself until they realize that for themselves. Until there's some kind of incident or situation going on in their life that has become a pain point, right? So you got to address the urgency in a situation. Like, like, how soon do you want to see a change in your life? How long do you want to deal with? How long do you want to be, susceptible and vulnerable to your current situation? Right? Because when you can have that conversation with somebody and get them to understand that, yeah, I don't want to be doing this shit 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 5 years from now. Like, if something's going to change, if something's going to look different, then I got to start making that change now. Right? Like, when you address the urgency issue, you know what I'm saying? You kill a lot of objections. And the last one, last but not least, and finally, is money. Right? And money is the one that people like to use because when they can say, I'm broke, baby, I ain't got it. Right? That's almost like, that's not them denying you. That's not them saying it's their problem. Like, it's not that I don't want it. It's not that I don't trust you. It's not that you're not a good person. It's not that your offer isn't valuable. I just don't have the money. Right? And that's an argument that most people feel like you can't really overcome. But nah, fam, that's the problem in itself. And a lot of y'all are promoting and marketing and presenting and sharing opportunities, products, ideas that have an income opportunity attached to them. Right? So when you get to the point of your presentation where, it's time to assume the sale or ask for the sale or close the sale or whatever the case may be, and somebody hits you with, I just don't have the money, your response in a respectful and tactful way should be to question, well, how long do you want your current financial situation to persist in your life? Because especially if you're working now, if what you're doing right now doesn't, won't, or can't provide the extra income for you to invest in yourself, to position yourself to see and experience the growth in your life that you would like to manifest or whatever, right? Like, if what you're doing right now cannot, will not, or does not afford you that opportunity, is it not fair to say that it might be time for a change? Right? Or maybe not even a change, but like, if you've been putting in work, it's just not working for you, maybe it's time that you put in work in a different direction, or put in work in a different arena, or put in more work in general. Right? But when people hit you with the money objection, a lot of times that's to get out of the accountability. Nah, I like you and your product's cool and you did a great job, but I just don't have the money. Well, that's really what we came here to talk about. How soon would you like to fix that problem? You feel what I'm saying? And so that kind of goes to urgency. And I'm going to hurry up and get out of here because I'm already been talking for 20 minutes and I ain't even want to be on here this long. But the second component that you need to understand and master is urgency. Right? And this has a lot more to do with you and less to do with your clients and prospects, right? Because your urgency, your sense of urgency, the energy level at which you move about your daily life, right? Like the passion and excitement that you exude about your mission, right? That urgency speaks volumes. That urgency also attracts to you the people that you would love to be in business with, right? Because it's that type of energy that people see that attracts them to your mission, right? So urgency is important. And like I said before, we behind the 8 ball. We behind. We've been moving slow. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of ground to cover and not a lot of time to do it in, right? Like, we're super far behind. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to take 200, 300, 400 years to catch up. Oh, you forgot my cigars. Party foul. But I don't want to wait 200, 300, 400 years to catch up. I want to catch up in my lifetime. I want to see my kids benefit from me catching up. Right? That's a high level of a sense of urgency. Right? How many people can I help? How soon and how fast? Right? Like that's a high level of a sense of urgency is a key component, a common characteristic that you'll find in successful people and in the industry. An extraordinary sense of urgency. Your pace matters, right? Because if you're doing it slow, look, if you know you got to hit 100 sales to make your goal for the year, right? To make the income that you need to make for a year, 100 sales is going to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? You need to make 100 bands and you make $1,000 per sale, right? So you need to make 100 sales to, you know, live and sustain yourself for the year. You could go 12, you could, you know what I'm saying, stretch the 100 over 12 months. Right. What's that? Like 8.2 a month. Right? Or you could set a goal to crush that 100 in 30, 60, 90 days. Right? Like if you need it, if you know you need it, it's clear you need it. Why are we waiting? What are we waiting on? If you know you need to see a certain level of income, if you know you need to reach a certain certain pay rank in your company, you need to hit a certain commission, you need to hit a certain quota, right, to make your goals. What are we waiting on? But that's where urgency comes in, right? And last but not least, definitely not least, because I actually think this is the most important thing, is your attitude. You got to have a positive, mental, winning, strong, successful, persevering attitude. Right? Because growth is not comfortable. Getting better hurts. Right? Getting stronger, shit. In order for you to get stronger, you're going to have to move some heavier weights. You understand me? That's not comfortable. Your hands going to hurt. You're going to wake up the next day and your arms and your legs, your neck going to hurt. Your back going to hurt. But that strength and posture that comes from, that attitude that comes from the work you put in, right? The blood, sweat, and tears, the energy and the investments that you made in yourself and your own personal growth, that's what's going to give you and solidify the warrior attitude and spirit that you need to embody, to complete this journey. Success ain't easy, but neither is being broke. Right? Like becoming successful is hard. Being broke, hard. So you got to choose your heart. But whatever industry you're in, if you focus on, if you commit yourself to ensuring that you maintain your pitch, pace, and attitude, right? Like if you make sure those three things are consistently at a high level, you're going to see an immense amount of growth in your business and in your organization and in your leadership skills and in your own personal development. Isn't that what we're all here for? Right? So I'm trying to get out of here before 25 minutes, but this is Larry Wiggins Bay, Mr. Lawful Money, the bag man. As always, I'm going to urge, encourage, and implore that you apply yourself to supply your wealth, because the only limitations you'll ever have are those you accept on yourself. Right? So this is your invite. We're inviting you to join the team, right? Because we're going to see you at the top or from the top. The choice is definitely yours. You can get in line or you can get left behind. It's up to you, right? But we've made the decision for ourselves. And I'll tell you from experience, the air is way better up here, right? The bottom is crowded anyway. So I don't even know why you would even consider staying in that position. Right? But a lot of people will tell you to shoot for the sky, right? Or shoot for the moon. But nah, fam, fuck that. I'm going to tell you shoot for the stars because the sky was never the limit and there's footsteps on the moon. So there's got to be more to do, right? And even if at some point you fall short of your goal, you'll still land on the moon. You know what I'm saying? Your footsteps will be on the moon. You'll leave an imprint and an impact for your future generations to see and identify, and that came from my last name. Right? Because if you didn't come from a wealthy family needs to come from you. Right? We understand Gucci, Prada, Walmart, Disney, all these Mattel, Chase, JP Morgan, Hewlett Packard, what's my homie investment company called? Edward Jones. If you don't realize, all of these are names of last names of people, right? If nobody recognizes your last name, you need to make sure that by the time you leave this earth, it's a worldwide recognizable name, right? So success is voluntary and you do deserve it. But you're going to have to do something today that your future self is going to be thankful for. Because yesterday is gone. Tomorrow ain't promised. What are you going to do today to make an impact? But if you don't know what that is for you right now, if you haven't the foggiest, slightest idea, I'm going to tell you, start by expanding your mind to match your goals and dreams. Because otherwise, if you don't, your goals and dreams is just start to shrink to match your mind. I was having a conversation with one of my coaches yesterday, and he said, you know, when you fail, you don't fail me. You don't even fail yourself. You fail everybody behind you that was rooting for you to win. You fail everybody coming behind you that was depending on you to win. So it's not about you. It's about them. And if you don't do the work, they have to. If you're lazy, if you're scary, if you just don't believe in yourself, you're not even hurting yourself. You're hurting them. So I'm going to ask you, stop being so damn selfish. Come here. Let's get to work. Pitch, pace, attitude. Master these 3 things and get a basic understanding of how people communicate, and you will see explosive growth in yourself, in your business, and in your organization. It's Larry Wiggins Bay, fam. I'll see y'all on another one. Peace. Yeah.